When it comes to popular streaming devices that allow you to watch Netflix, play some mobile games and stuff like that, there's literally only two options that really will come to most people's mind, which is the Google Chromecast with Google TV, which is a $49 unit that basically includes everything that you will ever need and plugs and play right behind the television, and includes this pretty cool controller, which does use AAA batteries, which can last up to 1 year based on my experience. Mine, I just changed it once. And then you got the choice between the Apple TV 4K. This is the second generation and is 3 times more expensive than the Google Chromecast, but can offer some features that some people really can appreciate. But is it really worth so much more compared to this device, which could also do the exact same thing? Let's go ahead and find out. So the Apple TV 4K starts at $179 for the 32 gigabyte version and can get up to $199 if you settle for the higher 64 gigabyte internal storage option. Meanwhile, the Google Chromecast can be found for just $49.99 and has more color choices to choose from, as you have the choice between sky, snow, and sunrise. And don't let that price tag fool you. Again, this thing is very capable as the latest generation Apple TV. Now, this is the second generation of Apple's TV 4K version, as the previous one was released back in 2017. And when you compare these two side by side real quick, nothing has really changed. The exterior box looks exactly the same, even the I/O ports in the back here, but it does have HDMI 2.1, as so does the Google Chromecast. Now the remote, however, this is where you can separate the two different generations, as this Apple TV remote is significantly more advanced and better in every single way compared to the previous generation Apple TV remote. The scroll wheel design is extremely easy to navigate on the screen and still does support gestures. But side by side, comparing the Google remote against the Apple TV remote, believe it or not, I still favor the Google TV remote. Reason being because the Apple TV remote can be purchased separately for $79.99. Which is kind of funny because this, for $49, you get the whole thing, not just a remote. And the Google remote also has volume rockers on the side that does support IR, so you can control your television to power it on and off with the Google remote, as even the Apple TV does also have HDMI CEC control. Now, in terms of specs, the Apple TV does have a much more powerful processor inside it, which is perfect for when playing high demand mobile games on this unit. The Google TV also support some mobile games as well, but I'm not gonna go into the mobile gaming aspect of things just yet. In a little bit I will. Now the Google remote is the only one that actually uses regular batteries. It does have AAA batteries inside, which will last you up to a year. You can check the battery life percentage in the OS as well. Well, with the Apple TV remote, it charges via a lightning port and can last up to several months before needing to having to recharge. So battery between these two controllers is perfectly fine and doable for all situations. A few minute charge with the Apple TV remote, it will give it enough charge to last several months. Now, pro about having everything set in the Apple ecosystem, in case you do lose the controller or you're too lazy to grab it, it's good to know that your iOS device, like an iPhone, actually has the Apple TV controller built into it, even your Apple Watch, which is really useful. Google, unless I'm missing something, doesn't have this. Now, resolution specs, believe it or not, both of these units are actually identical, as both support full HDR plus at 60 FPS. And they also have support for Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. Just however, the Apple TV that has a fancy tool which utilizes your iPhone to calibrate your TV's display via the external hardware that the iPhones have, like the camera and such. And it's able to calibrate your TV to that display best calibration preference. In other words, the Apple TV is extremely easy to set up compared to the Google Chromecast, but it's not that terribly difficult to begin with. Now, both of these units do have its own virtual voice assistant, as Siri comes with the Apple TV and the Google virtual voice assistant is equipped in the Google TV and can be toggled via the controller. Now the Apple TV does have built-in HomeKit, so you can monitor your smart home appliances right here if they are supported, but you also have some of these tools also available with the virtual voice assistant from Google. Now the pro going with the Chromecast is you have the ability to cast whatever you want to your television. So you could cast your YouTube, Netflix, and basically anything else that allows you to cast to the television, including gaming systems like the Oculus Quest as a fine example. Now with the Apple TV, yes, you still have the ability to cast some of these stuff if the application that you're using supports it, but with the Apple TV, you have access to AirDrop 2 technology, which is slightly more advanced and allows you to do other things. Like, if you have a Mac computer, you can actually mirror your display to the television or have it as an extended monitor, which you are not able to do with the Chromecast. Meanwhile, with the Chromecast, you can actually cast with the Google Chromecast browser onto the television. So even though it doesn't cast the entire desktop display, it's compatible on both Windows and Macs. And then in terms of video playback on your smartphone, if you're sharing a video that you recorded on your phone and you want to share it to the television, you could share it at full max resolution with the Apple TV from your iPhone to this big screen. And now the overall UI, both of these have unique functions. Overall, the UI on the Apple TV is much more pleasant to navigate and use, where it was the Google Chromecast, I feel like they bombard you with unnecessary ads at time whenever they show like movies and such that you could purchase and is available. But it's kind of annoying because again, this is an ad that's literally being shoved in right there on your face. But once you're in the application you want to use, like Netflix or YouTube, it's not really that annoying. And yes, both of these units, the likelihood of them supporting the streaming service that you plan on using like Netflix, Hulu, are compatible on both of these units. But still, I would recommend to do your own due diligence and doing a little bit of research to make sure that the streaming device you're looking for does support the app on that unit. But again, the likelihood of them not supporting the one that you like using the most is very slim, as I find all the popular apps available on both of these two devices. Now the pro going with the Google Chromecast, in my opinion, is that not only is it extremely affordable, and also that it supports all the popular streaming apps known to man, but I like the fact that it's so small and nimble that you can literally just plug it in and hide it right there behind your display, giving you a clean look. Meanwhile, with the Apple TV, everything has to be plugged in with this awkward looking box, which can be stylized and can match depending on your setup, but still, nonetheless, you are left with this annoying box. Now there are accessories that will allow you to mount this on the back side of your television so you can hide it similarly like you are, kind of like how you're able to do with the Chromecast. And then in addition to that, the Chromecast, once you have it, you can literally just plug it and connect it to your television right away. Meanwhile, with the Apple TV, they include everything except for the HDMI cable, which you have to provide yourself. Now it does have an Ethernet port, but again, it also has built-in Wi-Fi. So there's really no need to have it connect to your Ethernet cable unless your household really just doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi. The Chromecast just uses a simple USB-C port that is just strictly used to deliver power. Now, unique features that both of these units have with the Apple TV, it does support HDMI ARC, which means you can actually use HomePods like an external soundbar, and they do sound fantastic. Now with Google, however, it does have Bluetooth 5, both of these devices do actually, and you are able to pair external speakers. And if you have the Nest Mini, you can also use this as a similar setup like the HomePods with Apple TV. Just an annoying thing that I noticed is that if you do this, yes, it is somewhat of an upgrade to the current sound system that basic TVs come included with, but when you turn off your television and turn it back on, you have to manually reconnect them. Now, the Apple TV, if you have AirPods around your household or other earbuds that have the H1 chip that supports the wireless connectivity like the AirPods, you can listen to your audio with those devices. So you connect a pair of AirPods to the television, so if you're watching something at night and you don't want to disturb your significant others, whoever is around you, you can actually listen to the television silently without disturbing anybody around. Now the Google Chromecast also has a very similar feature like this, as you are able to connect external headphones. So both have this very similar functionality. Just with the Chromecast, you do have to manually put the device in Bluetooth pairing mode. Where with AirPods, you simply just select them and connect. Once they're paired on your iCloud account, they're paired across all your other Apple devices. So more about the gaming aspect of things, because that's a thing that Apple likes to advertise a lot with the Apple TV. Honestly, this is not going to replace a true gaming console like an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. It's a great entertainment piece if this is what you want to give your child for them to play games and such on, instead of using an iPad. And it's pretty cool that you can pair actual gaming controllers onto this unit, as both the PlayStation and the Xbox controller are compatible. But the thing with the Apple TV is it is a subscription that you pay monthly. And yes, you do have access to a bunch of fun games. But honestly, this isn't a massive selling point for me, because as a fine example, the Android TV is still Android. And in the community for modding Android devices, it's massive. If you want to, there are plenty of video tutorials out there on the internet that will actually show you how to run classic emulator games on this device and be able to pair it on a gaming controller like the PlayStation and the Xbox. So if you want to play some of your classic retro games, the Chromecast is hackable. Meanwhile, with Apple, you're stuck with their gaming service, but you can also buy some of these games if you don't want a monthly subscription. But honestly, the geographic, in my opinion, is really low in terms of using these streaming devices to play mobile games. So this is not where I see these two devices shine. Now, if you're an audiophile, you will hands down enjoy the Apple TV more than the Google Chromecast, as it does have support for Dolby Atmos 3D audio tech. So all in all, as you just saw, the Google Chromecast is very competitive compared to the second generation 4K Apple TV. Not only do you save a lot when using this streaming stick over the Apple TV, yes, you do lose the powerful processor, but again, at the end of the day, unless you do have high intentions to just use this as a mobile gaming system, there's really no reason to really get the Apple TV, as still, I see a better value with the Chromecast with Google TV. And in case you're wondering, no, unfortunately, the shortcut buttons on the remote, like the Netflix button, is not able to be programmed to do other things like launch other applications. The YouTube button does, however, allow you to switch it between YouTube TV or YouTube Music, but that's about it. You're not able to swap it with something else. But regardless, both of these TVs will give you functions, important functions to your television, so you can turn it off, lower the volume, change sources to the device right away, which is a single press, and both do have a built-in microphone, so you could activate your virtual voice assistant to do whatever on your paired device. So yeah, Chromecast. If you're on a tight budget and you just want to turn your dumb TV into a smart TV, this is a very affordable unit. Or even if your television built-in smart home TV functionalities isn't as snappy as you want it, you can't go wrong by picking either two. Just for the best value, I will still consider the Chromecast over the Apple TV. But if you have like an expensive home system setup, for the best overall visual and sounding experience, Apple has it down. So there you guys have it. That is my unbiased comparison between the latest generation Apple TV against the Chromecast. If you got some good useful information out of the video, I'd greatly appreciate if you had to leave this video a like, as those help me out a lot, as well as get subscribed. And if you're interested in picking one up, make sure you use the affiliate link in the video description down below, as those typically always help out the channel, so I don't have to do these sponsored videos and tell you guys the truth as it is, because at the end of the day, I am still just a regular consumer that just likes to inform the internet, so everybody can easily get informed and make sure they choose the right one that's best suited for them. Hey, if you got an Apple TV, check out this video over here as I go through all the awesome hidden features and tips and tricks that device can do. And then that video over there, that's the same video, but for the Google Chromecast. So if you went ahead and picked one up, check out those two videos so you get the most out of that device. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.